Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at questions 26 through 30 of the SAT practice test number 7 math calculator section. If you haven't already, make sure to look at the other videos in this series, also on SAT practice test 7, as well as several videos on SAT practice test 2. As always, if you enjoy these videos, be sure to like and subscribe. And with that, let's get into the questions. So here we're given a table with the energy per gram of typical macronutrients. If you watched the previous video, you'll know that this table was also used in question number 25, but I'm going to re-explain it anyway if you haven't watched that video yet. Here we have protein is given as 4 food calories with 16.7 kilojoules, fat has 9 calories at 37.7 kilojoules, and carbohydrates has 4 calories at 16.7 kilojoules. Again, as we can see, the food calories to kilojoules is directly proportional, has a ratio around 4.2 as we calculated in the last problem. But let's see what this problem has to say. So we have 180 food calories in the granola bar that come entirely from the P grams of protein, F grams of fat, and C grams of carbohydrate. And we're trying to express F in terms of P and C. Let's see how we're going to go about doing this. So there are 180 calories, and we can depict the calories as 9F for fat, right, 9 calories per gram, 4P for protein, 4 calories per gram, and then 4C for carbohydrate, right, 4 calories per gram. So that means that the total calories, 9F plus 4P plus 4C, equals 180. So 9F equals 180 minus 4P minus 4C. Then we divide by F to get, we divide by 9 to get that F equals 20 minus 4/9 P plus C, or answer choice B. Let's keep going. Question number 27, we're told that the world's population has grown at an average rate of 1.9% per year since 1945. And in 1975, there were approximately 4 billion people in the world. Yeah, and then we're asked, which of the following functions represents the world's population, P, in billions of people, T years since 1975? Let's see what we can do about this. Well, the initial value is 4, and since we have an exponential growth, there will be a number to the t power. Right, so we're not going to have c or d where it is a linear function. That's just not going to work. Now, 1.9% growth is multiplying the population by 1.019. Right, so essentially we're adding 100% plus 1.9%, which is 101.9%, which as decimal is 1.019. So we're going to be multiplying by that. That's going to be the number to the t power. So we end up with 4 times 1.019 to the t, which is answer choice A. Let's move on. Question number 28. The xy plane above a point not shown with coordinates st lies on the graph of the linear function f. If s and t are positive integers, what is the ratio of t to s? Well, the 2 points on the line that we know are 0, 0, and 3, 6. For both these points, the x-coordinate is twice the y-coordinate is twice the x-coordinate. So for any point on this line, the y-coordinate will be twice the x-coordinate. You can make these assumptions since we're going through 0, 0, right? Since we're going through the origin, you can make these assumptions. On a line, if you have 2 points that follow a directly proportional relationship, so they have the same factor relating the x and y coordinates, then you can assume 2 things. 1, that relationship will hold for all of the points, and 2, it will go through the origin, right? Because otherwise, if it did go through the origin, you'd have 0 and then a non-zero number, and that wouldn't work in the factor in the relationship of the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. So when here we see that every point on this line, the y-coordinate is double the x-coordinate, so it's going to be that for all the points, no matter where you look, and it's going to be through the origin. Now, we're asked for the ratio of t to s, the y-coordinate to the x-coordinate. We just said that the y-coordinate is double, so this ratio will be 2 to 1, or answer choice C. Let's keep going. Question number 29 says a circle in the xy plane has equation x plus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 25. Which of the following points does not lie in the interior of the circle? So before we get into this question, I think it would be really good if we broke down the equation of the circle itself and what is going on here. Well, the equation of the circle, right? We know that a circle is the locus of all points that are a fixed distance away from a certain point, right? So from the center. So in some cases, it might be the origin. Here, we can see it looks to be -3, 1. because if you plug in -3 and 1, you get that to equal 0. Now, we're trying to find the points -3 and 1 from that point that are 5.5 distance units away from that point. How do you know 5? Because it's the square root of 25. Essentially, what we're doing here is the Pythagorean theorem. This part is the difference in the x-coordinate. This part is the difference in the y-coordinate. And this is what they want the total distance to be. So this is just an elaborate version of the Pythagorean theorem, defined over a locus of points in the xy plane. Now, we're asked for the interior of the circle. Well, if we have a circle and all the points on the circle are 5 away from the center, then everything in here is going to be less than 5 away from the center. So essentially, what we're looking for is, instead of having this equal sign here, we want a less than or equal to sign there. That's what we're going to be looking for when we try to find the point that is not in the interior of the circle. Let's move on to how we're going to find the answer to this. So, we can just plug in each one of these points and see how they do. Choice A has the distance is 18, which is less than 25, so it works. Or say the square of the distance is 18, which is less than 25, so it works. Choice B has 0, it is the center, the very center, so it has no distance from the center, because it is the same thing, which is less than 25, obviously, works. Choice C yields 10, less than 25. Choice D has a distance of 37, or the square of the distance is 37, which is greater than 25, so it does not work. It's not less than or equal to 25, so it is not in the interior of the circle. So the point that doesn't work is 3, 2, which is answer choice D. Let's move on to the last question of this set. So that the manager of an online news service received the report above on the number of subscriptions sold by the service. The manager estimated that the percent increase from 2012 to 2013 would double the percent increase from 2013 to 2014. How many subscriptions did the manager expect would be sold in 2014? And we're given a table with subscriptions sold and year for 2012 and 2013. Well, the percent increase from 2012 to 2013 was 280, which is the difference, divided by the initial 5,600 times 100, which is 5%. Now, if this percent increase is double the percent increase for the next 2013-2014, the percent increase there will be half, or 2.5%. An increase of 2.5% over 5,880 is 5,880 times 1.025, which is around 6,027, or answer choice B. That is it for this set. Be sure to check in next time when we look at questions 31 to 38, the grid and response questions on this section of the SAT. Until then, I'll see you next time.